How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I've got a couple more missions. It's basically after this there's only one left. Organise operations at the Sawmill. So there's these two locations. This one I'm on now needs 10. The other one at the actual Sawmill needs 15 logs. Yeah, so I started heading over with the Aramatsu crayfish. I cut most of it out. I just randomly drove over a big pile of sand. I thought it did pretty well compared to some vehicles. One good thing about this, it has no chin. The wheels are definitely in front of the vehicle. Yeah, so I'm at the sawmill bit, or the warehouse I suppose it's calling it, that needs 10 logs. And from building my racetrack the other day, I was obviously chopping down logs and all the rest of it, and I was collecting a few of them with this. As you can see here, I've also got another bunch scattered all over the place. So I started grabbing them. For some reason that one's sticking up in the air until I remove this one. The wood's got wood. There it goes. I can't remember how many I had in the end. I'm trying to think. I had a pretty full load. That's what she said. I built a bridge, so that was 5, and then I dropped 10 off. I probably had, I don't know, I'm thinking 22. Does it look like there's 22 on there? I'm not sure. Again, it was pretty heavy. It was kind of flopping around a lot. So I got to this point on the other side of the dam, and I need to go. First of all, I was looking like, where do I need to go? And I was like, god damn, that's a bit of a long way to be driving with this log truck. So I contemplated life for another few seconds, and then I thought, sod it, I'm in a road building mood. So I brought over the bicycle dump truck thing, and I was kind of looking, thinking like, where do I sort of build off here? Obviously there's that building in the way. You can go this side. I was thinking, right, I'll go from the rock at the dam. If you look like where I start aiming, there's a nice little rock ledge that was looking like either build a bridge, or if for some reason that wouldn't work, I'd just pour enough sand. There's like a nice little sort of ledge heading off there. Yeah, so heading that way with it. This rock here. I also noticed something with the bridges. It's not particularly crazy. If you see how it says 7 logs, then 6, then 7, it adds 2 notches to the bridge per log. So if I scrolled it back a little bit, it'd kind of like go to 4, but then I could do 2 notches worth for 5. So just make sure you get the maximum length out of your log. Yeah, drove this thing in. I knew it was going to tip, and I wasn't too worried, but what I didn't plan on was it unstrapped it as it took some of the logs, and then yeah, I dribbling out like, I don't know, just saw Kelly in the nude. Yeah, so what I did was quit and reload. It actually made me reload all this bit of sand connecting from the dam, which I actually think my first attempt was a bit neater, but whatever. This time I decided, yeah, reverse into there so I don't get as tippy on my own road. I didn't realise when I picked this or anything, or think about it, those 3 blue ghost things are for the final mission to fix up the dam. And yeah, it didn't figure into my planning anyway. If anything, I've technically kind of blocked them off a little bit with the bridge I've built, but where they are, I'm sure I can reach them with a crane or something pretty easily. I might be able to squeeze through the gap, but yeah, again, I didn't really factor it in. I just was in a bit of a road building mood, and I don't know, I've kind of got in the way of thinking on this map anyway, just for the hell of it. Is like everywhere I need to go that's awkward, kind of, if I can, stick a road down there, and it does make life a lot easier. Once you actually go to the effort of building a nice, fat, clean road, like quite a long road that would otherwise take you like a lot of off-roading to get past and all the rest of it. Yeah, you start realising the benefits of it. So I started cutting across here. I'll show you where in a sec, because I didn't actually save every 15 minutes. But it's like cutting over from just north of the dam over to the industrial island section, really. And there is actually, like, it looked like underwater mud, but like a path going through here. I figured it out when I was uncovering the clouds like a few weeks back. It's pretty bad mud across there. It looks like there's already, you know, you could almost make it, but it's seriously boggy. And then I got to this point, but then I wasn't too happy, because I was like, oh, now I get here, I've either got to cut, like, lay sand, which I don't want to do through the zone where I drop off steel pipes, or I've got to, like, loop round. I wasn't too keen about that. So, started bringing the bicycle back and doing more sand, kind of going round the outside. And then if you see sort of near the top of the screen, those double pipes, I also build a road going over there. So at some point, I brought the mulcher in, because you can just pour the sand over these trees, but I knew, like, even when I was done, the branches would be sticking out the ground. I don't think they'd make too much of an issue. Yeah, it's not really, doesn't feel like a tracked vehicle grip and all the rest of it when it just starts sliding off and goes into the water. I was trying to be cheeky and get the tree done while I was drowning. It just started trimming it, but then it drowned, so that was that. I decided, figuring things out, I wanted to see if I could like turn the mulcher on and dip it in the water and chip the tree out of the way, because obviously the way it is, maybe I could like line up properly and drive the mulcher in forwards like a normal human being and see if it'd chop the log, but this was far more interesting. It's like fishing with mulchers. One thing is like when you dip it in the water, the front of the mulcher actually floats and then it kind of drops down. I'll show you, there's probably a bit of better footage. I actually got that tree. I was pretty happy with myself at this point. I was like, good. And then I was just checking, and the second the tree physically disappeared, I was like, mulcher is dead to me. Job done. Yeah, when you start dipping in the water, that's not hitting the log or anything. See how like the front starts leveling out because it's floating? And as I'm wiggling the crane up and down and kind of letting more rope out and reeling it in a bit, you'll see eventually the front end starts to dip down more. And it started chewing that, but then because it went fully underwater, it stalled the engine. Yeah, see that again, like the front's floating, jiggle it up and down, and then suddenly it like dips down because I'm sort of holding slightly back of centre. And then I figured out I was able to pick it up this way. I was trying to go for some kind of Mission Impossible mulching. Mulching impossible. Unfortunately, the I don't know, everything is a little bit awkward. It was being a pain in the arse letting me winch the back of this, and when you get the mulcher turned on but you lift it up, the engine's still running, but because of that little swing took it past 90 degrees, it turns the mulcher off automatically. Then I just thought I'll try just holding the mulcher level, and my crane started tipping, which again is a bit annoying. I don't like how easily the cranes tip in this game. Unless you're lifting something really light, they throw in the towel, especially this one that's got even shorter. Well, this one's got shorter crane legs, but the other one's got a shorter body, so it's like then it starts tipping front and back quite a lot. Yeah, doing a bit of mulcher dipping though. Eventually, with persistence. Come on, just get rid of the damn tree. The amount of times I'd heard the wood chipping noise was like, surely I've racked up about a minute's worth of chipping by now. But eventually, yeah, I saw those roots kind of do the little animation that they finally died. That got rid of that one. Like, good. Carry on building my road. So yeah, you can see there's like a bit of sand that goes off over those pipes. Just now, I've got options. If I'm heading this way, I don't want to go around the long way. Yeah, kind of go around the outside of that, I suppose, steel pipes facility thing. For some reason, there's like a blood stain on the road. It disappears every now and then, but comes back. It looks like I buried Jimmy Hoffa and he popped or something. So I don't know what that's all about, but it is what it is. So yeah, from the dam, built that, then the bridge. It basically saved me from going around there. I mean, why waste 14 extra seconds driving around when you can spend 6 hours building a road? Simple mathematics. Yeah, so that was where it sort of implies you could cut across easily, but the mud is ruthless. So I've got a road going over there, a road that was my original one going into there, but yeah, I was like, yeah, kind of a dead end once you get there, unless you cut over there, but like I said, I didn't want to lay sand or go round, and again, not in the business of going round. We lay entire roads. Yeah, so I go around the outside of that. That now connects me back up to that road, which is near my railroad, and then I've got to go a bit further up north to there. So, now I've got my road done. Take me, I don't even know, still don't, L34 something or other. It'd help if it left the name, like, right in the top left or something above map. Because, yeah, or it'd just help if they gave them normal names, rather than, yeah, like L34-3271, and then the other one's some kind of L34-4763. Like, yeah, we not just have, like, I don't know, calling it Kenny Loggins. Not do. Kenny Loggins, this truck is now Kenny Loggins. Yeah, so I could peel off either of those roads, but see me paver and all the rest of it. I actually went to the effort of rolling all this. Didn't particularly need to, but had a bit of time, so I thought, why not? Looks better for it. Yeah, so that, which now, it's like the amount of my map that's connected. From my base, I've got my racetrack and other roads that get me to the dam and all the rest of it. I've got a road running along the south of the map. I've got, now this goes from like the dam to basically the top corner. I do build more of this road out a little bit later, all along here. and not only to this log warehouse thing, but also the sawmill I'll eventually be heading to. Yeah, thankfully, speeding up clips kind of saved me tonight, really, because the video is going to be too long otherwise. I don't mind cutting the clips out, but I also sort of, to a degree, want to leave a bit of context in, and if you are actually trying to look which route I've gone on and all the rest of it, yeah, it helps to actually see what route I went, rather than just cutting ahead and being like, well, anyway, next. Unlike SnowRunner was in theory a lot simpler, like you're going to be driving from A to B a lot of the time, although in fairness I did embark on quite a few side projects all over the place, or just refuse to not let the loaf rescue everything going. This one obviously there's a lot more kind of going on, and yeah, sometimes it's just easier to cut out some of the boring stuff. SnowRunner you could go quick in like the Dolphin and go flying down the road, and it was like better, it was quicker, there was a chance of crashing, all the rest of it. This one is like, I'm going very slowly in the direction I'm supposed to, and that's about all you need to know on a lot of the bits. Yeah, so I got to here, you can see in the top right-ish, it ticks it, saying 10 out of 10, but obviously I need to go to the other one. So I actually threw 11 out, just because it kept grabbing 2 every time, except for once, and then I was like, it's just easier to throw 11 out and grab 1 back than try and just pick 1 more out of me stack of logs. Yeah, so then just head a little bit further north to the sawmill. I was looking like, well, I should go round that proper road, but no. For science, I'm going through the, I don't know, some kind of like old abandoned sawmill. And yeah, I now had 7 logs left on my Aramatsu, and I need another 15, so I started harvesting 8 more logs, pretty much outside this first station. Sort of, rather than chewing a big dip into the tree line, I kind of picked them off to line it all up. I don't know why. Yeah, collected all them, but it was pissing down with rain. The nice thing is, I just go for a lap or 2 on my racetrack now, until the weather gets better. And then it did. I was like, right, back. It's right weather. We can figure out how to get around you now. Yeah, it's just a good excuse for me to go racing whilst I'm waiting. And then driving along there, I think I sped most of it up, because there wasn't really a lot going on at this point. It's a little bit boggy there, but nothing too special. As I said, I probably should have carried on going. It kind of looks like there was an old road along here. Made of trees annihilated. Like an old World War II battle. You ever seen that World War II footage when there's like a forest that's been decimated by artillery fire and all that, but all the tree trunks that are left are like all exactly the same length, like 20 foot off the ground? I always wondered for years, like, how are they all, like, bombs have been going off? How did they manage to level them all? And it was when we invented the proximity fuse. So when the artillery shell was coming down and it was, like, exactly 20 foot off the ground, it detonate and whip all the tops of the trees off. But then, yeah, at the end of it, that's why they're all exactly the same height. That's how good the proximity fuse was. Yeah, there's a Quickline. It basically goes from the sawmill to the production cluster, like that island, the sort of central islands that you have to build loads of bridges to. Thankfully it is Vorons, so at least like along here for example, they were giving it a go. I actually thought they were going to get stuck, and I was just building a road heading, you can see my blue flag up ahead was kind of roughly where they're going to go past, and then I was like, oh, I thought they got stuck there in that thick patch.
Real nice. You can never be too prepared, right?
That's right, Kelly. I think she means condoms. Yeah, so I was like pleasantly surprised about that they actually made it. I carried on building a road nonetheless, so now I've got from the dam across there, there's me 3 options across there, my bridge, then I started sanding along here, turned off so I can now get into there easier. I did neaten up that corner, but all along here, there's where I dropped the first 10 logs off. I got a bit tight with the sand going along here, because I had to keep reversing all the way back to quite where that blue flag is. It was like the edge of the sand quarry. So the next mission I did was the backup transformers. I'll show you kind of where I was going. That was a bit of a quick edit there. That's like the only footage I had really. I drove over here, and when I got here I was like, there's 2 of these big fat transformers, and probably not going to do too well fitting it in the mule. I could possibly get them sideways, but I know nonetheless it's just going to be a tippy nightmare if I do. Or I could put one in the sideboard and dangle one over the front. But again, it'll be a bit of a pain. So I thought, right, I'll bring this double trailer. I can at least fit them on like this. Yeah, couldn't quite move the camera in the way I wanted, so I just moved it forward. Yeah, going out of there, along that road that I sanded the other day for an AI route, somehow go through this island. It's all a bit messy in there, but pop out the other side, go along the railroad, down the other sand route that I paved when I paved a road through the sand quarry a week or two ago. And yeah, I don't know why the hell I was winched to some kind of bucket. It's probably because the bloody strap cargo button seems to move every 2 minutes, and the toggle ramp. And then going along now, you'll see, like, this vehicle is handy in some ways, but you'll see some issues. When I'm going, I do turn. It looks like I don't, but I do. It's just the weight of the trailer doesn't really adjust. So now I'm turning, but it kind of skids ahead of it and catches them. And for one, I think, they should be breakable gate post things anyway. But also, if they put a mission in here where we need to get these things out, they could have made an exit more than 0.25 of an inch wider than the things you got to get out of there. Then I hooked it on the fence, so I rammed it with a mule. By chance, I was like, cheers mate, it worked out nicely. The AI just came out the production facility thing and rammed into me. But then, as usual, it's like, no mate, too far, too much, and you've now ruined it for me. I'm pinning it all on him. Yeah, so that sort of didn't help, but now I'm stuck on this curb. And to be fair, again, I don't know if the mule would have exactly just trundled along with no issues, but obviously this again sort of plays into the like, alright, I'll try a different vehicle besides the mule, and then it ends up biting me. Several attempts at ramming over that curb. I finally got the back wheels to skid around enough to go through the gap, and then I caught on the bloody building. It's like, for Christ's sake. Got the mule. There's no way of winching to the back trailer. It just kept offering me like the entire truck, and the mule wouldn't have a damn chance of lifting even without these things on the trailer. So I had to have a run up again, and then that didn't work, so I had another run up, bump those rear tyres like that over the curb. What was that, railway and something? I don't know which AI route that is. Oh, I do actually. It's a bloody semi-truck. It's made it through like 50 times, and now it's suddenly started getting stuck on nothing. Yeah, then the trailer tipped, and it didn't have the muscle to pull it. In fairness, like, this is, I would say, relatively heavy cargo, especially two of them. Other options would probably be the heavy transport vehicle, really. Like, then you got to get that into the production facility and all the rest of it. But that is doable in the scheme of things. You'd still have to be careful going out that gate, and being really precise with the trailer can be a little bit sketchy. So yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit of a pain in its own right. But then going along here, I was going to cut some of this out, but I thought I've got a bit of footage of this link, so I haven't got too much of it. It was going well at this part, so I thought, right, and leave a bit in. Actually start getting some nice, like, ASMR driving over gravel. Or ASMR, whatever it is. Like asthma. Yeah, like I say, I sanded all this road. I don't think it was too long ago. It was to get the AI like over the top of this bridge and all the rest of it. I think it was like probably a few days ago. There's, well, some of the vehicles left. There's the Warden on top of the Vostok. I recovered a few vehicles out of the water because I needed them tonight. One was the crane. I got this Lynx. The mule I actually tried to drive out of there, but it got stuck in the mud. But that's why the dozer is now out, because I had to move that to see if I could drive the mule out. The Land Rover's still in there underwater. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's, in fact, I might go and find it. It's like my Land Rover. I don't know. Aliens tried to abduct it the other day. One sec. Right, look. Like, what the hell, aliens? I'm having enough trouble getting one log out of this fucking water, in case you haven't noticed. Right, don't abduct that. Abduct the log. I had to look up, see if I could see a UFO. Give me back my Land Rover. And it did. It knew. Like, goddamn. That's how bad this mission went. Even aliens tried to abduct my vehicles. Yeah, so getting back to this, I think I fast forward at this point, but I made it here. We're now onto like the industrial section. Islands, whatever they are. There's the production facility in the background where I've drove from. Pretty standard issue through it, and I always lose my way. There is actually, I could have gone to a different road and popped out like opposite the rail road that's in the background. Again though, you can see this thing's pretty much at its limit. Like, as I'm trying to pull it up this bump and turn the corner, It's just not got enough with the turning as well, so I kind of had to straighten up to bump it up there, but then at this point I'm kind of going a little bit wide on this end. That's what she said. And then as I reverse, I'm kind of hitting the trailer hitch thing. I think someone said years ago it's called a tongue. I don't know if that's true, but whoever it was, I still have remembered that is what you said. And I believe you. I'm too uninformed to know any different. Yeah, so got to the railroad. Oh, there is volume. I was going to say things like, is this an electric vehicle? There we go. See, I already like looking in the mirror, looking good. Poked my head out, saw it start leaning, like, oh shit. Nearly bit myself. And then, even though driving along, I am turning the vehicle more than it looks. But again, like, the trailer and this weight is like the dominant force of this pair. So I start wiggling around. It's pulling me over to the right, and there's not a lot I can do about it without it suddenly swerving. Get a nice fat drift on the go. Almost got to the end of the road. Thankfully, with loading these on sideways, you get like a nice little skid and a drift. But the trailer, I have yet to have flipped this vehicle. Yeah, those kind of boxes sticking out the side at least propped it up rather than rolling. It didn't have enough oomph though to pull it just even back up onto that road, so I had to kind of violently reverse into it to try and jar it around this way a little bit. And even then now it's seriously on its limit, but then it tips and it's not got enough oomph to even make itself tip back, so again, a bit of violent reversing. Several attempts, more editing going on than what you see as the end result, but again, gotta speed these things up a ton, although I've just added a bit more video by showing you the Land Rover abduction. But you see, no one would believe me if I said that mission went that bad. That someone tried to kidnap my Land Rover. You wouldn't believe it unless you've seen it. A little drift around there, but again it tips. And again, it hasn't got enough oomph. I thought possibly if I fold the trailer out as it pushes on the ground, it might lever it back. It kind of had the opposite effect, only a little bit, but sort of leave it over the other way. So, alright, scrap that idea. Thought maybe though, when I retract them, it'll tilt back, but no, it didn't. So again, a bit of violent reversing, sort of use the links to ram into the trailer sideways and get it back to its wheels. Yeah, and so we continue. So you can see I'm wheel spinning most of the time, like it's definitely, I don't know, like slightly bigger wheels would be nice on the trailer. I know that would make it sit a bit higher, but that'd probably be better than the alternative that, again, given that it's an off-road game, you tend to not have a smooth surface to drive along. And I suppose it's a combination, like, the Lynx does feel pretty light compared to the trailer and this load and everything, so maybe a bit more weight in the Lynx might help. Or again, bigger tyres, or maybe more grip programmed in. I just stopped, save the footage, turn around, I was like, oh my god, now a bloody semi-truck's ramming into me. Thankfully, it tapped out pretty quickly. I had a vehicle earlier, I won't bother finding the footage, but as I was pouring sand with the bicycle, it clipped my bicycle and started honking, and then it drove about 6 or 7 feet past me down the road, and then decided to quit. The crash and everything had already occurred, and yeah, I was in his rearview mirror, and he still tapped out. Yeah, got to deliver them both there. I kind of see that I'm going to have to go round to the right, like the left. Yeah, you're just going to end up doing a snaky, weavy line, really. You may as well go this way. Nice little sound along the fences. Sound like an old rail something, train. That's the word I'm looking for. Like a rail thing. Yeah, I'm staring at the location. I've got to drop them off. Last second I was like, oh shit, I'm going to clip the building. So you do not want me delivering. If I was doing this in real life, there'd be some serious insurance jobs getting cashed out. And then, this is what, like, whoever designs these do it on purpose. They know damn well whatever vehicle has a crane is not going to be able to bring both of these. And whatever vehicle can bring both of these on a trailer isn't going to have a crane. So they've just added some slabs you have to get up. Thankfully, the first one, with a bit of a reversing and fingers crossed. Like, that's right, game. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah, I got stuck on the edge of that slab. Like, really? It's not filling me with confidence when you can't even drive one wheel over the corner of a slab that's about the equivalent of a curb. But even my first car that was horrifically underpowered could drive up. Yeah, they just make it awkward, but again, it was lucky that the first one kind of went pretty easy, so the second one, I thought it's just a matter of time. Yeah, because I can't disconnect the trailer, I couldn't use my winch. It'd be nice if I could do the front winch to the transformer. Thankfully, the old ramp trick came in handy again, just propped the wheel up enough that this Lynx had the power to bump the wheels up the slab, and then, yeah, thankfully the mission accepted it. Backup transformers.
Great work. You managed that before my third coffee.
Not sure what that's a euphemism for, but it probably is. Yeah, like I say, now I've only got one mission left, which is to fix all the dam up and all the rest of it, so I'm pretty certain I'll be doing that one tomorrow. And then, yeah, this was just like, that's a sand scalper I deployed. I just sanded from the port to the sawmill, and yeah, it's all connected up now. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for today, though. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a loaf, and I'll be back soon.